Welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we are going to be learn about the variables and its type in C++. A variable provides us which name store that our programs can manipulate. Each variable in C++ has a specific type which determines the size and the layout of the variable memory. The range of the value that can be stored within that memory and the set of the operations that can be applied to the variable. The name of the variable can be composed of letter, digits, and underscore character. It must be with either a letter or a underscore. Upper and a lowercase letter are distinct because C++ is a case-sensitive language. We have different types of variables, which is Boolean character, integer, float, double, void, and var character, means the wide range of characters. Now we see how to define the variable in C++. So simply I just write here hash include and IO string. Then using name space std and int main. Okay. Now here I just define integer which is KLM. So these are our three variables. Then character which is C and CH. Then I just write float and the float which is F and here I just write job. Okay. And then double which is D. So these are the sum of the variables in C++. So however programming is not limited only to print simple text on the screen. In order to go a little further on and to become able to write programs that perform useful tasks that really save us work, we need to introduce the concept of the variable. Let's imagine that I ask you to remember the number 5 and then I ask you to also memorize the number 2 at the same time. You have just stored two different values in your memory, which is 5 and 2. However, if I ask you to add 1 to the first number and I said you should be retaining the number 6, that is 5 plus 1, and then and 2 is your memory. Then we could, for example, subtract these values and obtain 4 as a result. So this is impossible for you. But for computer, you just simply write a which is equal to 5, then b which is equal to 2, and a which is equal to a plus 1. And then you just write result which is equal to a minus b. Simply you just write for the computer. So it will solve for you. Means I just told you that first of all you just take 5 as a number, then 2, then add a which is equal to a plus 1. Means add the value, means add 1 in the value number a which is 5 plus 1 6, and then result subtract a from b. So you will get the 4 as a answer. Okay. Now we just go to the declaration of variable in C++. Now we have the integer which is int z. Then I just write int I which is equal to 3. Then I just write cout the value, the value of the variable, and then I just write concatenation of I. I just told you about the concatenation in our next lectures, and then I just concatenate, I just print z and end line. Okay, and return 0. Okay, now I just execute this. So here I just write variable 1, and this program is executing here, and you can see my value here is variable of 3, means variables are 3, and then the values here slash, and the value of z is taking by default, which is 1. Now we see one another example of declaration of a variable, definition and initialization of the variable. So here I just create one another file, which is hash include istream using namespace std and int main. Okay, now before that main file, I just declare a variable which is extern int a and b, then extern int c, then extern float f, right? Variable number 2. Okay, now our variables are declared here. Now I just define these variables, so integer a and b, then integer c, then I just write float, which is f. Now I just initialize these variables, means initialize means gave the value to this variable. So b, which is equal to 20, a which is equal to 10, and c, which is a plus b, c which is equal to a plus b. Now c out, which is c, and here I just write end line for the single line break, and here I just write the float value, which is equal to 90.0 and divided by 30.1. Okay, and here I just write c out, which is f and end line. So here return 0 means return nothing, and execute. And we have an error here, which is the file c and semicolon. Now I just run this code, and the error here with b is equal to 20 because I just missed a semicolon here too, and I just run it now. So here you can see the value is the 30 here, means 10 plus 20, which is 30, and then value of f is 90 slash 30.1, which is 22.9903 is a expected output of this program. So this is a simple programs to define, declare and initialize the variables in C++. Thanks for watching this lecture. See you in next lecture.